Hello, good morning students. Please subscribe the channel, drop a like, share and comment. This is dictation number 77 and 78 of Model Speed Dictations volume number 1 on the speed of 100 words per minute. Start. Sir, it is most unfortunate that rupees 10 crores announced by the Prime Minister during the time of the previous Congress government has not been given so far. We are thankful to the Prime Minister that at least rupees 10 crores which has been given now will be utilized in time. We are having a buffer stock of 300 lakh tons of food grains. At a time when socio-economic policies are being pursued by the present government, we hear poignant stories of starvation deaths from various parts of the country. I do not want to mention any particular place. Certain starvation deaths come to the notice of the country because that gets reported in the press. Even when we are discussing this particular subject here in this august house, I may say with pain that in far-flung corners of our country, there may be hundreds of people dying due to starvation, particularly when we have 300 lakh tons of buffer stock. In this connection, our earnest request through you to the central government is to utilize the food grains for employment generation program. Why cannot this be utilized for employment generation program? Even when state governments come out with concrete proposals for employment generation, the central government is not cooperating. Kerala is having 3% of our country's population. So, rightly we can claim 10 lakh tons of food grains that is available with the central government to be given to the state of Kerala so that a concrete project that has been worked out by the left and democratic government of Kerala to give employment to 10 lakh youths utilizing these 10 lakh tons of food grains and mobilizing resources from the state's capacity can be implemented. Sir, the left front government of West Bengal during the last 10 years has been doing something in this direction, but unfortunately, the central government has not been cooperating with the efforts of the state governments of left front in West Bengal and Tripura in implementing these things. I hope this policy of the government will be changed so that the 3 crores unemployed youths we are having in the country can be put to this work. They are prepared to generate value, but they are not being given an opportunity. Sir, when we talk of our country going into the 21st century with the highest number of illiterates in the world, with the highest number of unemployed in the world, with the highest number of poverty stricken people in the world, if that shameful experience is to be prevented from our motherland, the economic policies of the central government have to be changed lock, stock and barrel. The educated unemployed can be utilized to eradicate illiteracy. What a shame it is that we have nearly 3 crores educated unemployed youth, and at the same time we have more than 40 crores illiterates in our country. How are you going to solve the problems of these people in the country? Sir, I am really grateful to the House for the great interest they took on the finance bill and for the very valuable contribution that members made to the debate. As many as 21 members participated and they made a very valuable contribution extending to over 2 days. In my short reply in 45 minutes, it will not be possible for me to cover all the points raised by the honorable members. If by chance I omit any one of these points raised by them, it is not out of disregard for the very valuable contribution made, but purely because of want of time. I would particularly like to mention the useful contribution made by honorable members. One of the most valuable suggestions made during the course of the debate was with regard to the manner in which the budget and the finance bill should be dealt with in the House. I entirely agree with my esteemed friend when he said that in the course of the debate in 15 minutes, it is not possible to do justice to a budget which deals with rupees 26 crores of expenditure, and that we should consider some method by which a greater scrutiny by Parliament is rendered possible. Sir, I entirely agree with the honorable member's view that it is wrong that the government or the minister concerned does not want a full and a detailed discussion. I have always welcomed questions from members of Parliament because it gives me an opportunity to look into those particular aspects with greater attention and in greater detail. Decisions of the government are taken at various levels, and not all of these are made by the minister in charge. Unless all these items are brought to the notice of the government, and for the minister is not always possible to give personal and direct attention to the problems which are of some importance to the community and to the society. It is entirely up to the opposition to come together and make suggestions for improving the manner in which the finance bill or the budget could be considered. There were again various suggestions in the discussions that have taken place in our parliamentary group. Suggestions have been made that we should resort to the method of standing committees where the items of budget could be referred to for more detailed scrutiny and then their report considered by Parliament. Any suggestion which emanates from the government in this regard would be considered as an attempt on the part of the government to evade a public discussion. But if, on the other hand, the opposition parties do come together and make any concrete suggestions with regard to a deeper and detailed scrutiny of the various items of expenditure like those of the Department of Industry, Department of Agriculture, the Department of Commerce, Defense, and so on, then the government could be quite ready to consider the suggestions made in this behalf. This is the reply we got.